Okay, so we have something right now. Sorry for this. This is kind of like a bit my fault here. Why do not live chat? Yeah, I don't see why chat is not working. Well, for tonight it's not a big deal. I was just gonna change this right now. So 03 10 20 25. So now that we are that's not what I want to open here, but this is what I want. Okay, so I'm able to minimize this. So sorry, this is the first time I'm using this software to stream, so hopefully it works well. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I'm gonna try to do, because I'm kind of busy with other stuff, mainly another channel I'm working on, but I still want to keep this one going just because why not, you know. So I was like, and I really enjoy Xbox, so I was like, maybe I should just go back to it and just keep doing some content, just maybe a lot less than I used to. And so what I now have in mind is this: I will be, instead of trying to go crazy and doing like weekly, not so weekly, but daily videos, and all the news, it takes me quite a while to do. Although I could potentially go back to my in-car videos, but because it doesn't take much time. Although being as busy as I am, I thought maybe I should go for this, which is once a week, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depends how much there is to talk about, especially since I'm just on my own here. So I can really have those conversations with other people, you know, but just like me going basically at the weekly news, or the main points, I guess, what marked or what affected like people the most this week, like what caught people's attention, I should say. And so I will be doing this while I'm playing something. Tonight I'm gonna be playing on xCloud. Hopefully it works well while I'm switching windows. I might just go like a bit dark while I just look at the news on the right side, change what page I have, so I know what to talk about and my notes here, and just go back to the gameplay. And so we will be playing some Ivalice Chronicles this week, which is a game I bought on release actually, and a classic obviously from the PlayStation 1 generation, which was then released on PSP, I believe, as well as on mobile platforms. And now you have the amazing next gen version, which looks pretty good, and I've been playing it a lot on xCloud here because it works really well, and I'm at my PC, so I can do my other stuff. So I just want to make sure my sound is adjusted properly. Maybe I'll lower it a bit just to make sure. It's hard to see from where I'm at, but just want to make sure you guys actually hear me better than the game itself, so that my points come across well. So this week, it's a pretty eventful week. We had pretty bad news hitting on October 1st actually. It was leaked by what's his name again, the Brazilian podcaster or Xbox streamer, Ecstasis, right? And basically what happened, or at least from what I understand, is that he said there was big news coming October 1st, right? So that's where we first started to hear about this. And so what happened basically is that Microsoft decided to raise the prices across the board, and a lot of people were pissed. Now allegedly the website crashed because of too many people canceling. Now, was it because of people canceling, or was it because of the fact that they were changing the system around, and you know, maybe for some reason no, the website wasn't ready and stuff. It could be different things. We allegedly means, I mean, you know, we don't know. Right? Microsoft won't say. My guess is that some people did cancel or change their subscription, right? Because I mean, you can want to cancel completely, which I understand, but nobody's forcing you to just go out entirely. You can still go back to a lower tier, which offers still great value in my opinion, right? So so yeah, basically what happened is that we don't have core and standard and all that stuff anymore. The only one that stayed is ultimate, right? And so basically what we have is we have essential, we have premium, and we have ultimate. Wait, I'm gonna lower the price even that's not even more, because the whole point here is the gameplay is just for fun, and so I'm not wasting my time either. But yeah, so yeah, essential is now what's replacing core. Okay, so you have the 50 games available to you on Xbox or PC, so now it includes both platforms, right? And all of the tiers. So all tiers include PC and console by default, and all tiers include also cloud gaming by default. So no matter what you're playing on, you get cloud. Okay, so that's, I guess, the value add here, although you might not want that extra value for the extra price, so that's where people are pissed somewhat. But yeah, so that's how that works. So for $10 or $10 a month, you get 50 plus games on console and PC, cloud gaming. You get the rewards, so all the stuff like the Riot games, you know, like the characters from League of Legends, for example, and the rewards you get on a monthly basis, like the skins and stuff that they give. Now you just get them on this tier as well. So there's a lot of value being added, including the cloud gaming and stuff, and the price stays the same. So that tier is actually pretty good for people who are already there. They're just getting more, basically, right? Then you get the premium tier, which is the old standard Xbox Game Pass tier, and that's where I think the better value is. Yeah, we have to be nice people here and help them. All right, but yeah, so basically, yeah, that one is, I think, the middle ground where people, I guess, are gonna be mostly switching over. So you're paying $15 a month, and you're getting over 200 games. Now, all the Xbox first-party games are gonna end up in that service within 12 months, except for Call of Duty. You still get cloud gaming, you get all the rewards and stuff. You get what else do you get here? You get oh, I can climb on that wall, nice. You get the game benefits, the like I said, like multiplayer gaming, obviously, cloud gaming, PC games, and oh yeah, rewards. So basically it was the same on the other tier as well. So what happens here is that on all tiers you get like extra Microsoft reward points. So on the first tier you get $25, up to $25 a year. On the second tier, $50 a year. So on this tier, and the third tier, which is ultimate, is gonna be $100 a year. And like I said, if you go now on the ultimate tier, now you get to pay $30 a month. So that's the 50% price increase where people are pissed off, right? And for that $30 a month, you're gonna get the same as before, day one games, Call of Duty, and game benefits, cloud gaming, except now you get a higher bit rate. And some games have 1440p streaming, and you get also priority in the queues. And you get also EA Play. So EA Play is not part of premium anymore. You have to get ultimate. I don't even know if it was part of the previous tier before, but now yeah, the only way to still get it is in ultimate. And they added Ubisoft Classics, so it's kind of like Ubisoft's EA Play, I guess. So you get a bunch of older games, which is all right. But I mean, old the old, like, you know, like for example, Assassin's Creed and stuff are usually easy to get for a super low price. So I don't feel that value add is that great. Although I mean, it's a lot of games for sure, but thing is, a lot of people have already played those games, or I'm gonna just get hurt myself just to get some experience here. But I mean, you can pay $30 a month and you can play like a 50-hour long Call of Duty, but Assassin's Creed, or you could just buy the game for like a third of the price, you know. So I don't see all that much of a value, but I mean, it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games, right? So it depends how you see it. And obviously, the big one that they've added is Fortnite Crew. So now you get Fortnite Crew as part of the Ultimate deal, which, I mean, depending on how you look at it, is kind of nice because it's a lot of game that you get there, a lot of value. I mean, considering that package is like what, $12 I think. So technically, like, you get a lot more for your money now that they've added all this stuff. The problem is not the stuff that they've added and the value you get, is just, do people want it? And the reality is a lot of people don't care about Fortnite Crew. A lot of people don't care about that Ubisoft plus thing. A lot of people, I mean classics, you know. A lot of people like might not want cloud gaming. So people are feeling they're overpaying for stuff that they don't want, and that's where I guess a lot of the frustration comes from. Now, I mean, how are people gonna react over time? I mean, I'm expecting some people to drop the service. I'm not expecting everyone to stay on the service. Some people are just gonna lower their tier, right? Some people are gonna cancel outright. Some people like myself are just gonna subscribe, right? I just share with my brother, so it kind of makes sense. You can still get codes for cheaper. So for me, it was like a 300-ish Canadian dollars instead of 460. So with code, so it's much cheaper. Still expensive when you think about it. It's like $30 a month Canadian, but it's still a lot cheaper than getting it and paying on a monthly basis. And I mean, I think the way they see it is that they're, how can I say, like, basically I think the way they see it is that they know they're gonna lose some people, but at the same time, the extra amount of money they're gonna make is gonna more than make up for it. I think that's what they're expecting. It's the hardcore of the hardcores of the players are gonna stay in. They're gonna stay locked in, and that $10 difference on a monthly basis is gonna make for them a higher revenue, I think, over time than just keeping it at $20 a month. That's what I'm expecting, and they probably expect some people to drop, or some people to come back, you know, because they guarantee now 75 day one games a year and 400 plus games and ultimate. So that's a lot of games, and that's a lot of day one games. And I feel like they're actually raising the amount of day one games they're putting in the service. And I mean, they were putting like a lot of, like this year I think they released 12 first party games. So I don't know how sustainable that is, but that's a lot of games, right? And so my kind of like my thinking here is that they're like, okay, we need to keep delivering that if we want to keep people in the service, but we can't keep doing it at the price we're doing it. I think that's kind of like the thing here, and that's probably why the price increase is happening. But at the same time, yeah, okay. So, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know how this. I'm guessing they have some numbers somewhere. Microsoft, like the spreadsheet company, you know, they have like statistics and stuff. They have an idea of. Oh, I can go up there. I wonder if I can get anyone from there. But yeah, so I guess they run the numbers, and they have an idea of what's gonna happen. I know that they also talk in the press release about more news to come with Epic Games about opening boundaries, like from like closed ecosystems and stuff. So I have a feeling that there will be more stuff announced in the future with Epic. I guess I'll just wait for now. And I just don't know what kind of stuff we can expect here, but something's amidst, something's in the works, and my guess is that they're gonna have something to announce in the near future. I'm guessing they're not giving them like that gift, you know, for nothing. Like, I mean, it's a deal, yeah, sure, and I'm guessing for Microsoft it costs them less to get that into their service than what they're paying Epic, or else they just wouldn't do it, right? But I don't know if it's gonna be some kind of Epic Store integration with Microsoft. Is it gonna be Game Pass on the Epic Game Store? I have no idea, but for sure they have to have worked out something, I'm guessing, or else they wouldn't be doing it, right? So yeah, that's why I can't wait to see what they're gonna announce, because I know Epic is also one of the companies that really wants to open up everything, you know, like kind of like how they were mad at Apple and stuff. So I kind of expect something to happen shortly, because all the bad press that they got, I'm guessing they need to announce something good. But yeah, I can't wait to see what in the next quarterly earnings, what the results are going to be, right? How much that's going to be affected. by like, are they gonna lose a lot of subscribers? Are they gonna keep a lot of subscribers? That's what I really wanna know, because I mean, I'm being a big fan here of Xbox. I'm kind of like wondering, are they making the right moves here, right? And it's kind of scary. Like, I mean, Game Pass is kind of like part of the whole ecosystem. It's kind of like part of the value, but it's like part of what is Xbox basically, right? And if they lose, I'm gonna move a bit less just in case. So if they lose that, I mean, I know how they're gonna recover that money. Plus the fact that this is like the main value add for the consoles. So if they lose that, are people gonna be interested in buying more consoles, especially with the sales going down? So it's kind of weird. That's kind of weird, but I'm in my mind they have to have calculated this decision in some manner. So that's why I don't want to, you know, sell them out right away. I'm guessing they know where they're heading, and hopefully it goes well for them, right? I mean, they keep adding a lot of games in cloud. I'm guessing the push for cloud here with all 3 tiers is part of that, because they know people that their platform is heading more and more towards cloud gaming in the future. And the big push is there. I don't know if they're planning to expand in other countries. The thing is, like, depending on how you look at it, which is why it's kind of funny, it's because in some countries like Brazil, where they were saying cloud was doing really well, the price went up by more than double, and a lot of people are pissed online because it's a lot of money for them. So while they're adding that value there for countries that have maybe less means, at the same time it's kind of weird that they're making it, maybe they're outpricing them already. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna, I'm really interested to see what the numbers are gonna be and if they're gonna be good or not. I mean, we've seen Netflix and stuff like raise their prices, and people are like supposedly mass quitting, and then like a few months later you learn that actually numbers are up and that they're making more money than ever. So, you know, at this point in time, and I think anything's on the table here, which is why I won't actually count them out yet. So I'm pretty sure it might actually go better than we're anticipating. That's what I want to say here. Maybe not, but maybe it will. And in the same vein, while we're on the subject of Game Pass, PC Game Pass is still in. So that went up in price to $16.49, but it still includes the day one games, which is, I mean, I guess kind of weird that, like, I guess PC Master Race is indeed like the one to go for. So if you're one of those people that's buying like one of those new like rogue allies, you know, you're kind of, I guess it was a good move because you're gonna get a lot of value for what you bought, considering you're gonna be able to get all the day one games still, and you're one of the only ones gonna be able to play in a portable fashion here. So that's kind of nice as well. But they kind of they're kind of hiding it, right? They're kind of hiding that, because if you look at the press releases and everything, or even if you go on the website itself, it's like, here you can get Game Pass and this and that, and then like in super small at the bottom, like, here, Game Pass PC. You know, it's like they don't want you to know it exists, right? They want people to get the other tiers and pay more money, basically, because it's the only tier that's not Ultimate that's getting day one games. But the thing is, since they're like not putting it on the forefront, I'm wondering, are they kind of like hiding it on purpose, and are they gonna slowly phase it out, you know? And because we know that the ecosystems are merging, console, PC, it's all becoming one for Microsoft. So are they, basically what I'm trying to get at here is, are they at some point just gonna become, there has to be a point where it's gonna become all PC, right? It's my guess. There has to be a point where it's going to become all PC, and there will be no distinction anymore, right? So for the time being, since they still have consoles, they don't have a choice really but to keep it the way it is. But at some point, they won't have to. And then will they just remove PC Game Pass, just keep all the other tiers, and it's just Game Pass and that's it, and there's no more PC or console, it's just games, right? That's kind of like where I think it's heading long term. I mean long term, because I think the series generation games are gonna stay for a while, because considering the price hikes and everything, I don't think people can afford even the newer generations when it's going to be coming out. So I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing games on series generation for quite a while. And so I'm not expecting this to change in the short term, but it's going to change at some point for sure. And that's going to be interesting when it happens. But the thing is, they changed Game Pass so fast in the last few years, I just don't know what's going on anymore. I mean, it must be confusing to customers at some point, right? Because it's just too many changes too fast. I don't even know if people can actually like keep up, you know? So, yeah. And obviously the one thing that we haven't talked about here is the rumors. So, Tom Warren from The Verge is talking about a new tier, which is something I've always hoped they were going to be doing, although it's not as I'm expecting it, but it's basically a free tier. And so what happens is that, oh, well, actually I'm going to go on with that and I'm going to come back because I have something else to talk about. But yeah, so yeah, basically you're going to be having a tier with ads, and the way it works is that you're gonna have a 2-minute reel of ads playing, and then as that ends you get 1 hour of gaming. And you have like a small section of games, I think, or games you own you can play, basically. Why you killed my character? I was supposed to kill myself. Whatever. And then you can get up to 5 hours of game time per month, which isn't much to do. You know, you can't do much with that, except maybe, which is what people, maybe it's more of a trial tier. But the thing is, this is an internal testing, and they're saying that it might be higher than that once it's actually released for real. And this is where I kind of like disagree with the whole thing, right? Because in my mind, I mean, that's Netflix has a tier where it's like super cheap and you get more. In my mind, they should just maybe charge for it. Maybe have a really free one, but maybe at some point like charge for it. But thing here is, they can charge for it, but they should ideally maybe have an option for like people who want to get premium or ultimate, but for cheaper maybe. I have like a tier that they charge you less, but you get the ads, right? I think it could be maybe a middle ground of some people where they would be willing to accept at some point like paying for it and get it just because, and then like, you know, go with the ads just because whatever, you know. People are doing ads now with Prime and stuff, so I mean, to me it's like, okay, you want the ads, here you pay less. You don't want ads, you pay more, you know. I think they should go for it. Long term, I think it would make sense. Maybe it might make it too complicated with too many tiers and stuff, but or maybe it can just be here this year and then this is an add-on if you don't want it, you know. I think that would be kind of like a good compromise in my opinion. Whether they go for it or not, I have no idea, but that's kind of like how I see where things should go personally, right? But in terms of value, here's another thing, right? So as I was mentioning, they added, so basically, like, you know, when you have the Microsoft rewards, which is something I do a lot because I use those points to buy games, and the service changed a lot in the last few months, or the last year or so. And now what they did is that they kind of changed it, where it's like, okay, for each tier you get more points extra. So when I do my quest right now, I get extra points. So if you're on Essential, you get, let's say something that gives you 5 points, right? On Essential, you're gonna get an extra 5 points. On Premium, you're gonna get an extra 10 points, and then on Ultimate, you're gonna get an extra 20 points. So it's like 4 times the value, basically, if you're on Ultimate. So you can get up to $25 of extra rewards. Oh, I don't have. Okay, I'm gonna try to attack them. Up to $25 of extra rewards with Essential, up to $50 of extra rewards with Premium, or up to $50, yeah, or up to $100 of extra rewards with Ultimate, which is quite a lot. That's like a more than a brand new game extra per year, basically, which I think is a reasonable deal. But you have to do your Game Pass quest. But they did change some of this stuff, like for example, like they used to be all you have to play Game Pass games, you know, for the quest to count. Now it can just be any game basically. So yeah, they did change some stuff to make it a bit easier. So I think that's reasonable, but it's still something that you have to do, which not everyone wants to. And the problem with that is that there used to be like let's say you were playing not playing, but you were, oh nice, let's say you were buying stuff while you were subscribed to Game Pass, you would get an extra 10% off on everything you bought, like DLC and all that stuff. They took that away completely. So now the only incentive is like to farm by doing the quest, to get the points, to get the rewards, the cards, you know, to get some money off. Like, and that's kind of shitty. You know, that's kind of a crappy way of like treating customers, I guess, because the deals were like something that people really enjoyed, like the 10%. I think it kind of, especially since they were selling premium upgrades of your games for people who were subscribed, right? And I think that was a bad move of taking it away, personally. But that's me, right? That's me. Maybe I'm wrong here. I don't know. Maybe, but I mean, considering if they were saying people were spending extra money that were subscribed, well, why would you take that extra buying power that those people had to spend more on your services? I find it weird. You know, I find it weird. I don't know what they were thinking here, to be honest, because that extra 10% goes a long way. And I know I'm gonna be like farming those quests like religiously to get those extra rewards. I just, like I said, I just don't agree with the way they're taking away too much at once. Maybe people won't notice that much, you know. Yeah, we have no idea. Maybe people just don't care, which is possible. I mean, I'm not in everyone's heads here. I don't know. So you see a lot of people, like disgruntled people online. People are mad, but sometimes, as we've seen in the past, people are mad, but in the end, that's just like a vocal minority, you know. So that it could still be that here right now. So yeah, only the financial results are gonna tell the full story here, and even then they don't always tell numbers. So they might just say, "Hey, revenue is up," but they're like 2 million down, and we have no idea, you know. But yeah, like I know I've seen like that's been the talk of the week, right? Everyone online, that's all people are talking about, like Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. I mean, for whatever reason, like people hate Microsoft, but that's all they can talk about, right? Which is kind of funny, but that's all. The talk of town is always Microsoft. So I guess, you know, the saying like talk good about it or talk bad about it, just talk about it. Well, they really take that to heart here, because that's what they keep doing. That's what they, week after week, that's all we hear about, like always Microsoft. People really hate them for some reason, but they just can't stop talking about them, and their revenues are up all the time. So I'm guessing something must be working for them, or they have a strategy and they know where they're heading. I know for myself, I mean, I'm staying in the ecosystem, I just like it, and I have my Series X, but long term, probably heading all the way to PC land exclusively. I'm waiting for the backwards compatible hardware to come out, right? Because I really want to have all my 360 games, all my stuff with me, and if I can get them on the I can't really, well, whatever, I'll just finish this. If I can't keep my games, I mean, I'll just have to keep the console here. But the thing is, I would like to play those on PC if I could. So if they have the BC software, that makes it so that, hardware, I mean, that means that you have your PC, but at the same time you can play all your 360 games on it. I might do the full switch, maybe keep the consoles for the kids, because it's kind of nice and useful. But yeah, I just don't know how it's gonna be. Is it gonna be like are all manufacturers gonna get the hardware? Is it gonna be just Microsoft first party hardware is gonna have the special, like, you know, because right now, I mean, you can buy the roguelike, but it's basically a PC, right? You cannot run all your PC stuff. So that's kind of like and I think that also comes back full circle to the Game Pass thing, where it's like, you know, when you want to extract the most value out of it. Although in a way, if you get a roguelike, you have Game Pass, you can stream all your games, so technically it plays everything, because you can still play your 360 games through streaming, either from your console or from cloud, because they keep adding games to it. Just like I just bought Final Fantasy Tactics here and there, it is in cloud. I don't even have to own the console technically. I could just be playing. I mean, I'm on a pretty powerful PC right now, but I could be playing on a Chromebook here, on a Chromebook, and it would work well, or on an iPad, you know. So you don't even need to own the console itself. And as they upgrade the hardware, because right now it's running off of consoles in the cloud, but we know that at some point that's gonna become AMD hardware, right? and I'm guessing all their cloud infrastructure is going to run off of AMD CPUs and GPUs, which can also be used for AI, I'm guessing, at the same time. So there's dual purpose here to make more money, raw revenue, and less downtime. And that's going to maybe help even more make up for that money with the Game Pass subscription and the cloud stuff and all that. So I think there's like bigger play here that we don't see, with all this. And I think this is taken into account. Another thing that they've talked about, I think it was Bloomberg, this week, they said like apparently someone from the from Microsoft, without wanting to obviously to give out their name or anything, but they said that Microsoft lost close to $300 million on Call of Duty last year in revenue due to people subscribing to Game Pass instead of buying. So some people think that the price hike here is due to that 300 million that they lost, which is why I guess it would explain why Call of Duty is the only game that's exclusive to Ultimate. I'm guessing they're trying to get people to subscribe that tier and make up for that money. And if you have over 30 million subscribers, and we know that 80% of those are on Ultimate already, and they all pay an extra $10 per month, well, that's your $300 million right there. So it kind of makes sense. The numbers do add up. So I'm guessing that the news could be true. The news could be true. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to be trying that, price gouge people and get that money back through that extra $10 per month. But we'll see. I don't know if they're gonna budge. That's what I'm guessing, because they spent all week without budging. Last time it went pretty fast, and now the whole week went by and it's like, no, we're not moving. We're not changing the price here. It's staying that way. So yeah, I mean, I'm guessing this is the price for the future. I hope this doesn't go back, like this doesn't go up even more, because this is quite a lot of money already. This is for me. I'm personally like on the almost the upper limit, I would say, like at this point in time. Like, I don't know if I would like to pay even more than that. I think this is already too much. I will keep it because to me I see the value, but yeah, it's reached a point where I'm like, if it keeps going up by another 5-10, I might just be out, or I might have to drop to premium, and I'll wait the 12 months to play my games, and I'll just buy cut if I need it that year, because this is where it stops making sense to me, right? So, but yeah, I mean, a lot to digest here with this. A lot of changes. I want to get one of those 1440p cloud games to try to see if it's actually worth it, that tier, because I haven't seen it. Although it does look good, right? As you can see right now from my stream, this 1080p. You can see the stats at the top. It's pretty reasonable, and I know someone on Resetter on the forums from the Xbox team said like that it's not just priority queue, in 1440p. It says all the other games you also get higher bit rates on the higher tier. So even if it's 1080p, then you're supposed to get higher bit rates by having Ultimate, so you still get better quality. So at least there's that. All right, so let's move on here. What else did I have? Yeah, the free tier, which already talked about. The DLC discounts, as I said, I was trying to talk about it separately here, but like I said, basically all the extra DLC or extra games and stuff, you just lose complete. You lose the access to that 10% extra discount, which kind of sucks. I mean, they're doing it just as a route to release a few games, actually Ninja Gaiden, but more importantly Outer Worlds, which had the DLC premium upgrade, so you don't get that 10% anymore. And obviously Call of Duty, which got 10% off all of those like extra like Call of Duty box, whatever, to buy stuff, and now you don't get it anymore. So I'm guessing that's a lot of revenue they're gonna be getting back from those 10% that they're not giving any out anymore. Here's a complete change of thing here, but like change of the discussion, but at least it's some good news. This let me turn on, because I don't know them by heart, but there's quite a lot of games that were nominated for Golden Joysticks, right, from Microsoft. And if we go quickly here in terms of games, here we have the Still Playing Award of Minecraft and Call of Duty Warzone, obviously. Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile. The remasters. So there's a lot of remasters. Like half of the nominated are for Microsoft Game Studios. So we have the Elder Scrolls 4, which I think is pretty high there. Although Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, right, that could end up winning. The Gears of War Reloaded and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and Plus 4. So while those two are pretty strong, I do have a feeling that Metal Gear Solid is going to win it. I think it's pretty. Although the Elder Scrolls, it's from the same company that did the remaster for Metal Gear Solid, and it's a pretty strong remaster, if I'm honest here. Best game expansion with The Order of Giants, which is an amazing expansion, so I think that has good chances here. Best soundtrack, I'm very happy here with Solid Midnight, although I think people will probably vote for Clear Obscure. Unfortunately, it's sad because it had good chances, I think, of winning. But I think just Clear Obscure just had too much of an impact this year that I think that's gonna win. Best lead performer with Adrian Ray as Hazel and Solid Midnight, as well as Troy Baker for Indiana Jones. And looking at the other ones here, I mean, Jennifer English for Mael and Clear Obscure here. Someone from I think they have reasonable chances here of getting an award here. Maybe. There's Marios Gavrilis as Emmerich Voss. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Indiana Jones for Best Supporting Actor as well. I think that's pretty high up there. I think it has good chances. Best Early Access here. Grounded 2, which is amazing game. Actually has a update this week with Axel, the tarantula, the spider. So I have yet to play that, but I'm already there because I've had done all the previous content. So I'm gonna be giving it a go in the near future. I always play that one with my brother and co-op, you know. So yeah, it's gonna be good. The best game adaptations, there is the Minecraft movie here, which Arcane Season 2 could win this. Last of Us Season 2 also. So I'm not sure, but that was a pretty good movie. I actually did buy I saw it in theater, obviously, and I did buy the steelbook of that one. And yeah, the most wanted game with OD, but there's a lot of wanted game on that list, including some big ones like Grand Theft Auto 6, you know, and Resident Evil Requiem here, Witcher 4. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna win. I don't think so. But yeah, so yeah, overall, like, good list here of titles. And the Golden Joysticks Award. So it's always good to see Microsoft, and obviously we're gonna be probably seeing more of those games on the Game Awards coming later this year, which I really can't wait for that one because I'm hoping for more big trailers. I'm hoping at least for a massive reveal for Forza Horizon 6. So now, going to the next big news of the week, at least for what had an impact for me, I think, is the we all know that October 24th, right, at the Halo World Championship or Halo Championships, whatever they call it, I think, and the tournament, the World Finals. Halo Studio is gonna have a showcase of their upcoming titles, right? And the rumor is that the Halo remaster, right, Halo Combat Evolved remaster, is being done in partnership with the Virtuos. Well, actually, Virtuos, but it's a studio called Abstraction, which apparently was acquired by Virtuos, and they're working on the Halo Combat Evolved remake with Microsoft. And from what I understand, it's a mix of Microsoft's like it's like a hybrid. They're using the original engine plus, I think, Unreal Engine 5, and I think the idea here is that future Halo games, they will all be fully Unreal Engine 5, but to keep the feel of at least the original game, what they're doing is like they're doing kind of like the Oblivion thing, where you have the whole one running in the background, and it's all Unreal Engine 5 on top just for the graphics. And I think that's what they're doing with this game here. That's kind of like the idea. So it's like a hybrid in this matter. And rumors that there's gonna be some changes to the game, like a bit less redundant stuff, right? Like the library, I think, what's it called? The library, I think, the level, and then also they're adding sprint to it, which might make some people mad. Although, I mean, they've had sprint for I don't know how long now, so I mean, people should be expecting it. I understand the Spartans are supposed to always be running, but whatever, you know, like, I mean, it's a modern game, at least you need some modern controls to it. Right, but I'm expecting big things because this game is probably the first one to be coming to PS5 at the same time. And I'm kind of wondering if we're going to be finally seeing some of those games on Switch too, right? Because I do own one. I have, unfortunately, the Switch 2 in me, but did pay the price for it. But would kind of be nice to see some Xbox games on it, right? I think there's a lot of money to be made there, and they're not pushing for it yet. I mean, I don't know why Grounded 2 is not there already. I know it's preview, but they should still make the effort for it. It would probably be a big game on that platform. But yeah, so Halo Studios showing that in exactly three weeks, 21 days. We're gonna be seeing a showcase of the next Halo game, which is probably gonna be releasing next year, considering it's the 25th anniversary of Xbox. It's supposed to be a pretty big year. I personally expect an announcement for next gen next year for sure. I wonder if they're gonna have a 25th anniversary Series X or 25th anniversary, I don't know, like Rogue Ally or something, you know, like at the same time, or 25th anniversary controller, you know, why not, you know? But I think we should be expecting some hardware along with games and stuff, like big announcements, like I mean, we're getting Forza Horizon 6 here. Wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, Halo is released, if ED is released as well. So yeah, so I expect this next year. So now jumping over, what else do we have to talk about? I know, oh yeah, Phil Spencer said that he was at TGS, right? And talking about like an interview, I think, with a local newspaper, not newspaper, but like news site, I think there, or whatever. So I think they had an interview anyway, and they were asking people what their favorite games that they wanted to see come back as remakes or as sequels, you know. And he said what people are asking for the most, according to what he's heard, is Crimson Skies, which kind of surprises me because I mean, we've had the one on the OG Xbox, and that's it. And I mean, I know it's kind of like somewhat beloved, you know, but I don't think that studio exists anymore anyway. And I mean, if there were no sequels, was it really? I don't know. I'm surprised about that one. I know it's a big name, but I feel like it wouldn't do really well. It's more something that she should do as like an add-on or something to Flight Simulator, in my opinion, you know. Then there's Mech Assault, which I mean, they have some Mech Assault games not made by Microsoft, but there are some games out there. And the big two, I think, that people really want to see is Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, which, I mean, we've had rumors of a Blue Dragon remaster, so I don't know if that's still in the works or not, but that would be, I mean, I think that would do really good, especially if they would, those two games, because people experience them on Xbox 360, and they're amazing games, but Sakaguchi-san isn't really making games anymore, and so in terms of sequels, I don't think that could really happen, at least with the original studio in mind. So either you gotta make a deal in some manner where you get someone else to do a sequel, because I don't think Sakaguchi-san will be making it, or you go for remasters with a third party, right? And you get everyone else, including like Switch 2 and PS5 owners and PC gamers, to experience those games for the first time. I think that's probably the best compromise here. I'd love to get Lost Odyssey. I actually never finished it, unfortunately. I should get back to it. I would probably be completely lost though and would have to start over again, so that's the problem with that game. Although I do remember the intro, you know, with the CGI switching over to in-game, and then people were like, whoa, really? You know, like, it was pretty amazing transition. But Blue Dragon I did finish, and that one was pretty cool in my opinion, so I'd like to play that again with better graphics. So yeah, good news at least that they're kind of like, not taking up people's opinions and maybe giving us what we want in the long term. So at least they're listening in some matter on some stuff. Another news is the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 beta is now ongoing. It's the closed beta, right? So if you pre-order, I think, or if you're part of Game Pass Ultimate, you get to play it. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't had time, but it has some multiplayer, I think, and some zombie in there. Or there will be zombie soon enough, at least to try. And what we're hearing, right, is that, well, there's new stuff in there, right? There's still the Omni movement and stuff, but you can do wall jumps now and stuff like that. It looks pretty good. I think they're adjusting the time to live, time to kill, how do they call it? Time to TTL. I think it's time to live. Like, I think they're making some adjustments to how we respawn and how time. I mean, the game is pretty fast paced. Yeah, you die quickly and you respawn really quick. I know they're changing some stuff in there, but yeah, basically, what I'm trying to say here is that, yeah, the whole point I was trying to make here is this. What they're doing is that the game has been on beta, and they're on Xbox and PS5 and PC, right? And we don't have all the numbers, but what we do know is that on Steam the numbers are quite low compared to Battlefield 6, and so people have been comparing it and saying, oh, the game's dead, Battlefield 6 is doing better. Now, is that the case? I mean, we don't even have the numbers from the previous beta, so I'm not really sure anyone's done a legit comparison with what we've had previously, so it could still be doing good compared to previous Call of Duty games. I don't know about that, but that could be it. I mean, Battlefield hadn't had a good game for a while, so I mean, hype was obviously going to be higher for that game, in a way. That was kind of like to be expected, so is it surprising at the same time? Not really, you know. And then we also have the fact that, I mean, there's been the whole thing with the skins and stuff, kind of like putting people a bit down on the game, so that could be several factors, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see for the final sales just to make sure that it's actually doing bad this year, right? Because I mean, they're using the Black Ops 7 thing, and I know it's more futuristic, which isn't always people's cup of tea, so that could be another reason, right? But it's the whole Call of Duty cycle where it's like, okay, they're doing this, people are mad, then they go back to like Modern Warfare or something, and then people are like super hyped. So yeah, you know, it could just be like this one title where they're like meh, you know, and then next year goes back crazy, you know. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see before like going like you know, like thinking it's all going to crap with them. Like, I mean, I don't think it's apocalyptic yet, you know, so let's take a more like reasonable approach here and wait and see the results. It could still be a good year, although it's gonna be more competitive for sure because of Battlefield 6, right? So I haven't pre-ordered Battlefield 6, I'm kind of tempted. My brother was like, I was like, hey guy, I was talking to my gaming buddies, you know, I was like, why don't we pre-order it and just play it, you know, like, it looks pretty cool. The beta was awesome. And they're like, you know what, we're just gonna pre-order and play 10 hours and then just drop it because we don't have time. I'm like, yeah, this is somewhat true, I guess. I kind of want it though, but there's so much to play, like especially if you look at just this month, there's what's it called, Ninja Gaiden 4, because I'm already playing this. And there's that, what's the name of the Double Fine game that's coming out that looks freaking awesome. And there's the Outer Worlds 2, so already for me the month is already packed, right? And I'm like, so if I get another game, am I even gonna have time to play it? I don't even know, so could be better to wait. Maybe for do I have items here? Maybe I'll move more. So yeah, better to wait until let's say or wait, can I go on the other side? Yeah, let's do that. Wait until like Black Friday maybe, or wait until like Boxing Day here in Canada and then just get it for a lower price at that point. Might be a smarter move overall, and play the other stuff I have for now, you know. So that's kind of like where I might be heading. I'll wait and see, you know, but yeah, so that's kind of like an idea I had of like what I should do instead for the time being. Can I move closer actually and just I can't really, because if I go here I won't be able to hit anyone, huh? Nah, I'll just hit that guy here just because I can and get some experience here. So yeah, that's kind of like too much stuff to play, but yeah, according to the numbers, at least it's not looking good for Call of Duty. I don't know if the pre-order numbers are lower though, and we're still like a month away or something, so we'll see. You know, like the beta is starting, right? It's still closed beta anyway. Maybe people are just busy with other stuff. Maybe it wasn't obvious enough on how to get codes or whatever, or no, it's hard to say. There's a lot to factor in here, so it could be much less critical than we're thinking, right? That's what I'm trying to say here. So, but it's still good to keep it in mind and just look at the numbers, and then when it happens, we're like, okay, you see, that actually meant something, right? Because a lot of people look at Steam numbers and sometimes it's irrelevant, so it could be, you know, there are cases, scenarios where it could be relevant or not, so we'll have to take that into account if the numbers make sense, and if the numbers are actually lower than last year, then we'll know if it was a good comparison or not. And then, oh yeah, so I talked about this already, and I did talk about this. So yeah, I pretty much, I think, went full circle here. I mean, it's the first one we're doing here, first podcast, so first week. I'm not used to, and that was kind of like last minute here. I was like, oh, maybe I should go for it, you know, maybe I should do it. But yeah, I mean, it could be a lot. I'm talking about this right now, but I have a lot of stuff in the back of my mind, so it doesn't have to be always like about exactly this stuff now that I talked about here. But these are what I think like really affected like the world of Xbox this week, you know. And I think this is what was worth talking about. I mean, we'll see what the world reserves us for us in the future with the Game Pass stuff. That was the main one. This is the thing that everyone was talking about. Like, we have Lisa Khan here. Is that her name, I think? No, Lina Khan, sorry. The previous FTC chair, I think. Former FTC chair. Bringing back the whole thing where, hey, look, the price went up and Microsoft said it wasn't supposed to go up after buying ABK, you know, and then look what happened. I mean, is she right? Did it go up because of, I mean, according to rumors, internal rumors, we know it's because of the lost money from Call of Duty. It could be. Eventually, I said we're never gonna raise the price, or we're not gonna raise the price because of this purchase, and now look at them, they've raised the price. So yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, you know. It's sad though that they had to do this because it could affect overall their performance long term. But like I said, I mean, I guess they know what they're doing for some reason. I just don't know what. I just can't understand. Like, here's the thing, right? Here's the whole thing. I want to circle back to the Game Pass thing here, even though like I'm just going around changing subject nonstop. But basically, they're adding Fortnite Crew, which is something I use. I mean, I'm using it right now, but I use it sometimes. You know, basically, I don't use Crew every month because, I mean, you don't need it all the time if you don't just play Fortnite. And how can I say, when you're playing Fortnite, right, if you have like an hour or two per night, I mean, you might have some time, but the thing is, you're mostly going to be focusing on Fortnite or some free-to-play games, right? That's the thing. And all my characters are like confused and dancing. I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of weird. I'm just gonna accelerate this here. Hope I don't die. But yeah, so people who play free-to-play games, they usually stick to free-to-play games. So I'm like, why make them spend money on Game Pass? Who would pay $30 basically? Who would pay $30 to get Game Pass Ultimate just for the crew perk, and then not use, you know, you're paying $15 basically for, or more than $15 for other games that you might not even play. So what I'm trying to get at is people who play free-to-play games, usually they only play free-to-play games. We know from numbers that people buy a game or two a year max, in general, on average. So who's gonna subscribe and pay $30, and who has the time to play and develop all their Fortnite Battle Pass, plus play all those old Ubisoft games and the OZA play games, and then all those first-party games or day one games? It just, something doesn't add up. We know like the younger generation, they don't play as much, or they just mostly play free-to-play games. So if you're mostly playing free-to-play games, why would you just start spending more money for stuff you're not going to use when you can just get Fortnite Crew, right? So that's why I'm trying to understand where this whole thing makes sense, and to me it doesn't make any sense. The bundle itself doesn't make any sense. It should be in my opinion a la carte, right? So it should be like, here's essential, whatever, like premium, ultimate, and then oh, you want essential with EA Play, like pay an extra $5 a month, you know. You want ultimate with the crew, well, pay $10 extra per month and you get crew, you know. It should be like that. It shouldn't be just this bundle, you get everything, but if you don't need it, well, you still pay for it, you know. That's the thing, right? I understand they're trying to upcharge you, right, to make up for that money, and so by adding that extra value in there, like they kind of like give it a reason to go for it. I just don't know if the reason is actually there, you know. Like I'm gonna end up with like 12,000 V-Bucks a year. What am I gonna do with 12,000 V-Bucks? You know, I don't even know. I mean, I'm gonna buy skins, I guess. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, you know. So I just don't understand. Oh, it's starting to lag a bit here. Why they went for this and where they got those analytics, the data that told them that it was a smart idea, you know. Yeah. No, I'm gonna lose. I feel like I'm gonna lose this character there, and I don't like that. And I feel like I should have saved before that battle here. Although I think there are auto saves here, so I might be able to go back. But yeah, can I actually? I can't even pause the game here. Huh. Well, we'll see after the battle is done, I guess. But wasn't expecting this. Now I'm looking like a fool, and I lost my cool character there. I can't even pause the game. I don't understand that though. I thought you could stop battles. But yeah, that move that they made this week is kind of confusing, and it's confusing for everyone, I think. And I mean, we might be completely wrong here, like I said, but I just can't make any sense of it. And I'm guessing that the deal that they made with Epic must be bigger than we're all anticipating, and that we're gonna be all like, there it is, you know, like gotcha. Like now we understand, you know, because if it's not, then I mean, like I said, maybe the market is gonna react completely in a completely different direction than I'm expecting here, but it's just so weird sometimes. Like they make some moves and we just don't understand why they make those moves, and they don't make any sense to us, right? And you're thinking there must be something pushing them to do it, and if it's just the money, like we're hearing, at the end of the day, it might not always be in the best interest of the gaming community, and they might react accordingly, right? And you might lose subscribers. So on that note, I think it's a good time to stop here, as I just finished this battle here, and we're just hitting the 1 hour mark, I think, here, about to hit the 1 hour mark. So as a first goal for this podcast, I think it was a good try, you know, good first try. I'm happy about this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna try to make it better in the future, right? I need to add some more shiny stuff around the screen, you know, to make it more interesting, you know. And I'll see what I can do. I'm not very good with Photoshop, so we'll see. Maybe I'll just steal something or figure something out online. It looks nice and just put it in there. And yeah, I mean, thank you very much for watching. I'm kind of like having ideas here. I want to rename the channel. I did make like a really crappy Photoshop design for a logo, and I want to kind of go for it. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of stupid. But I'm trying to differentiate myself, or I stick with this the gamer tag. I'm not sure about that one, so we'll see. But yeah, really trying to bring this back and grow that subscriber base. And I know there's a lot of Xbox channels already, and I know that the brand is kind of like meh right now, you know, and although it's making more money than ever, so it's hard to say. But I mean, I'm thinking if I want to talk about something and I want to get discussions going here, I need to go with something I know and something I like to talk about, and Xbox it is for me. So I think I should just keep heading in that direction and producing more content for that platform. So expect more, I guess. We'll see if I do go back to the daily stuff. I don't think I have time, unfortunately. So I think the weekly thing here, where I can just sit down here in the evening on Fridays and just do this, I think is pray what's gonna work the best. So that's what I'm gonna be doing mostly, I think, always around this time. I'm expecting like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the evening on Fridays, because that's when I'm available, unfortunately, because I do have to do my other channel first because it's much bigger, so I have to work on that before, and then I can come here. But anyway, you can always just catch it the next day if you want, and we'll see if I can get the, because this is video, right? But maybe at some point I can actually get it on other platforms like Spotify and stuff like that, and just try to diversify and get it bigger over time. If you're listening to this, you like what I'm doing, and you want to join in the future, it could be talking on my own is one thing, but if we're 2 or 3, it would be better, you know, not against a co-host here. So we could do the whole Discord thing and just like get some gameplay footage and just have something playing at the same time while we're just talking, so it might be easier than just me playing, because as I was playing, sometimes like lose your train of thought because you're doing 2 things at the same time, you know. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna cut it short now because I'm just rambling about whatever. But yeah, again, like I said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for the next videos, and stay tuned. Come back next Friday around the same time for the next weekly podcast, hopefully much better than this week, with more exciting news about Xbox. All right,